ICE is now arresting immigrants inside immigration courthouses right after their cases are dismissed. And if you're somebody who cares about the due process of law, this should worry you. Earlier this week, a father from Colombia showed up for a routine immigration court hearing with his family. In court, the judge told him that the Department of Homeland Security prosecutor wanted to dismiss his case. And this usually means that you're no longer facing removal proceedings in the immigration court. It's supposed to be good news. So he said yes, and even said that this is good because he'd want to stay with his family. However, he didn't have a lawyer, and nobody, including the judge or the prosecutor, told him what was going to happen next. Moments later, outside of the courtroom, ICE surrounded him and took him into custody, leaving his wife and his toddler screaming behind him. As an immigration lawyer of 14 years, I've never seen anything like this happen. And this new aggressive tactic by ICE is basically to ramp up deportation numbers by the Trump administration. It's also very deceptive because immigrants who are in court think that dismissal is essentially freedom. They think by accepting dismissal, they'll be able to leave the court and go home. But now under this new ICE tactic, dismissal essentially is the green light for detention. And this is not just happening randomly. ICE is coordinating with the government prosecutors in advance, and maybe even with the court judges. For instance, the Department of Homeland Security prosecutors are identifying the cases of people that they can dismiss first. They then tell ICE the courtroom that the individual will be at, and even the amount of time the hearing is likely to take. They give ICE about 24 hours notice so that ICE can plan the arrest inside the courthouse. And the reason why I said maybe even judges is because based on what we've heard in the last couple of weeks, judges haven't even told individuals that there is a risk of detention if they accept dismissal. So if you're unrepresented without a lawyer, you have no idea what you just agreed to. And this tactic, it's really pushing people away from the system because people have slowly started to hear about this and they're not showing up to court. In one courtroom in LA this week, out of the 15 cases that were on the docket, only 5 people showed up. Now people are staying away because doing the right thing could get them deported. And we're essentially criminalizing compliance. One former ICE official said, "We actually don't have an immigration process. We make it impossible for people to comply and move through the system." Courts are really a place where people go to be heard, not hunted down. If the government can work behind the scenes to detain you right after you participate in the legal process, what's the point of even having the process at all? This destroys trust, and when you destroy trust in the court system, you unravel the entire idea of fair proceedings. And this is something that really should matter to everybody. So I have been asked, what are things that we can do to help? And the first thing is spread the word. Most Americans have no idea why this is happening or what's even happening. If someone has immigration court soon, they could be walking right into a trap and not even know it. Share posts, talk to your friends, and educate people on this as much as you can. Also support local immigrant rights groups. They're on the front lines organizing legal help, helping people get bond money together, and showing up to court to provide pro bono legal representation. If you can donate, do it. If you can volunteer for these organizations, do it. These organizations stretch every dollar and every hour to help families in need. Also, show up. Consider volunteering to be a court observer in immigration court. Immigration court hearings are generally public proceedings. You could also support someone going to an ICE check-in because, again, your physical presence in these situations can help and matters. It tells the individual going through this process that they're not alone, and it tells the system that we're watching every move they make. Also, it's so important to vote, and not just in the presidential election, but for local elections, because sheriffs, prosecutors, and judges all shape how we determine how we treat immigrants in our communities. And most importantly, call your congressman over and over again. Demand real oversight and protection. The silence at this point isn't being neutral. People's lives are on the line at this point. For more immigration news and information, feel free to give us a follow.